Is Eminence and Shadow still worth it in the big 2-6? I feel like it's kind of up in the air if you summon or not on this banner. Compared to when Eminence and Shadow first came out, you have characters like Shadow in the game. This guy gives you tons of physical res down, tons of evasion rate down, plus art gauge. You have characters like Beta being able to give you damage res, art gauge, damage ups, magic damage ups. These two characters alone are just insane characters. Even now, they are still insanely good, which I don't really think the value of these characters is what we should be focused on here, and it's more so the timing of this crossover. Let me just say this right off the bat. If you are someone that needs a character that can deal with any evasion boss in the game, or to have a character that enables your accuracy characters even more, look no further than Shadow. You put Shadow on the team, you stack that evasion right down, you get the art gauge, you get the physical res down, and now whatever boss you're fighting is gonna get hit no matter what. A character like Beta, if you're someone who lacks damage mitigation characters or Archgeners, she's really good. But the reason why I'm saying the timing is so important here is for a few reasons. For one, we do have Huma coming out alongside the Shadow banner. Huma is part of Minosaur's High, which would mean that whenever Eminence and Shadow comes out, we will also be getting the second part to the Minosaur's High saga, which is perfectly fine. However, this could also mean that they are on record release Shala within the next month to month and a half, possibly 2 months. Which Shala is an insane character. If you don't know anything about this unit, she's pretty much the Grand Summoner's Hoka. That's kind of what I want to say. She does give you tons of art gauge, and she also can heal you. Her healing is insane, by the way. And lastly, she gives you the 300% damage buff, specifically to anybody that isn't an Earth unit, which I know is weird because she's an Earth unit. It's a bit of a identity crisis for her, I think. But this unit is one of the top tier supports in JP, is going to be one of the top tier supports in Global, and she could be right around the corner. Of course, when it comes to GS units, you could always say that it's not that big of a deal. They don't have as much of a premium on them as some other characters, just because you're able to use 10k AUX, right? And hopefully you can luck out and get her there. Or it's just a simple fact that she's a GS unit, she will eventually come back on another banner. But I'm the type of person to believe that when Grand Summoners Global releases a unit, it's going to take a very long time for that unit to come back. Unless like you're Emperor or something. They release Emperor every few months for some reason. Also have the possibility of the Rabbids Platoon Saga showing up at some point during this entire ordeal. The Rabbids Platoon Saga is the one that has Natasha, and later on we'll also be bringing a character like Henrietta to the game. Both these units are insanely good, especially Henrietta. She has tons of uses and tons of different team comps, so a lot of high value characters are on the horizon. Let's also not forget that ReZero is right after this crossover. ReZero's bringing characters to the game like Reinhardt, which Reinhardt is going to be universally good for everyone, and Demon Rim, which I'm personally really excited for. I don't know if she's going to be that good, you know, in the long term, but it seems like she's going to be a very strong unit for specifically Mono Dark, and I'm really interested to try use her with characters like Igris, for an example, and see if I can make Mono Dark one of the best teams in the game. And another character that could possibly show up at any point in time is Summer Charlotte and Valerie. If you guys don't know, Summer Charlotte and Valerie like just recently released in Grand Summoners JP. Well, in the live stream they did not too long ago, they said that they were rushing Summer Charlotte and Summer Valerie to try to get them on Global so we wouldn't have to wait an extremely long time to get these seasonal characters, because GS is notorious for releasing seasonal characters extremely late on Global. So if that's the case, we could see Summer Charlotte and Valerie within the next month or two. And these two units are also very strong. We're talking about a character that gives tons of art gauge to the entire team. If they're a human ally, you also get skill CT and you get healing specifically for human allies. She has 100% attack and defense on the true art. And let's not forget, her super art is like just this massive nuke. So in a game that's filled with ratio characters now, especially a lot of human ratio characters, they're going to love her. 100% attack and defense, this is perfect for them. Not to mention also herself, because she has the ratio passive. Of course, we'll have to see how they navigate these releases, because we could be getting the next story chapter, which if I'm not mistaken, the next story chapter character should be World's End Leon. I'm pretty sure that's the next story chapter. She's also a really strong Archgener. She is the battery character. If you want a character that is specifically Archgen, look no further than Worlds in Leon, because that's what she does. She gives you tons of arts and quite a bit of damage res down as well. So a lot of big releases are on the horizon, which pretty much just translates to, hey, you guys be a little cautious with your crystals. You know, if you are interested in any of the characters I just said, they could be releasing within the next month or two during this crossover period. Another thing that's really big to me, and I'm surprised that we haven't got more confirmation on this, since it is, I'm assuming, getting closer and closer to its inevitable implementation into the Grand Summers Global side, and that is the new pity system. The new pity system is still not out. So in my head, this is just how I've been feeling about it whenever any new banner comes out recently. If you only do like one summon, or you go like super deep on the banner, but you don't get them, like let's say you do 5 multis or 10 or whatever, right? All those multi-summons aren't counting for the future banners. They are just throwaways, right? After this banner leaves, that pity count is gone. Compared to when the new pity comes, those multis could have counted towards a new banner whenever that eventually releases. So I'm not saying that like you're throwing all your crystals into a fire, but it kind of feels like that. Since we know the new pity system is coming, but we haven't got any word on when it's coming, every banner almost feels like a trap banner. To an extent. Of course, I have my own grievances with the new pity system, but I can't deny that having the carryover pity is extremely good. And sure, I know that they're going to be giving us like 30 pity gems for free whenever the new pity system releases, so we're halfway to a pity. But still, let's say like this is the final banner before the new pity comes out and you did 10 or 12 multis on it, the new pity gets implemented, and it's like, well, those 10 or 12 multis could have counted towards another banner that's coming out in the future, but it didn't. It just got thrown away. You see what I'm saying? It feels kind of bad. So all in all, let me tell you like my strategy, my kind of headcanon going into this next period we have of Grand Summers, because it's a very weird period, but trying to figure out a way to navigate it so we have the most crystals and the best outcome possible. When it comes to the Shadow banner, I think you at least do a multi-summon. If you don't have Shadow, if you don't have Beta, you absolutely at least do a multi-summon. If you have one or not the other, I think you can still do the multi, but it's really up to you if you deem the other character as valuable still. Because if you're like, well, I really need Beta to like clear this piece of content or whatever, it makes sense. And specifically, I'm talking about more of the vets here. If you're a new player, you should absolutely summon on the Shadow banner. There's no reason for you not to. It has so many good characters on it, especially if they're all on a singular banner, which I don't know if they're doing that yet. But if they are, you should absolutely summon if you're a new player. If you wind up getting Shadow and Beta right out the gate, that is an incredible start. Such a good start for your account. If you already have Shadow and Beta though, there's essentially no reason for you to summon on this banner. Sure, Delta's a pretty good attacker, and Alpha is, I guess, okay, but you already got the 2 prizes, so there's no reason for you to really go crazy on this banner. After that, I would recommend just saving until either ReZero comes out or we eventually get Shala, because she is like the next big character. I mean, of course, we also have Natasha that could come out, which Natasha I would say is pretty good for Mono Dark, but it's also debatable how good her value is, since we have other characters coming out like Demon Rim, and she kind of has a little bit of that damage mitigation with the physical res and barrier. So it's up to you if you want to summon on Natasha whenever that eventually releases. I would say try to limit the amount of crystals you're using over the next month or so until we get the new pity system. That's kind of my headcanon. That's kind of the thought process I'm having going forward. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Tell me down below, are you going to be summoning on Shadow, or maybe are you going for Huma? I know I didn't even talk about Huma, but he's releasing with this banner as well, which is kind of crazy. But either way though, you guys let me know if you're going to be summoning for Huma, because I sure ain't. Thank you all again for hanging out, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.